Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Dave Photo here. So recently I've actually been getting a couple questions on how I scan my film. So I guess we can just jump right into it. How I scan my film. Well, today we're gonna learn. How about that? Recently I've been getting a lot of questions asking how I scan my negatives and what program I use to convert my negatives from obviously negative to a color positive or black and white positive. First thing is first, you're gonna need a scanner. Now there is a ton of scanners out there that you can use. There's flatbed scanners, there's DSLR scanners. I don't do that. Personally, I don't have the room for that, or do I have the desire to learn to do that? I'm very comfortable with flatbed scanning. A lot of people say you lose a lot of quality. I guess I just don't see that. But hey, to each their own, personal preference.
Fine, I get that, but you're wrong and I hate you.
I picked up this Epson V600 scanner during the pandemic when I wanted to learn how to scan. I just said, I want to do this, frankly, because I had a really bad experience with my local camera store with their development and scanning, so I decided to teach myself. So if you buy this scanner, you're gonna get two different inserts. This one's for, oh my goodness, obviously I don't use this very often. This is for 35mm, and then this is for 120. So yeah, I mean, it's good. If you don't like borders, it's great. Yeah, you just put them in there and then scan it, and there you go. But for me, I really enjoy borders on my photos, so I went and bought these cool anti-Newton ring glass inserts. Basically, you're supposed to use this on top of that, and that's what keeps without the anti-Newton rings. If you ever get those Newton rings, they fucking suck. And I'm just gonna say you got to get creative sometimes. But anyways, I bought these. I'll leave the link below. I think they said they're not selling them anymore, so I think I got lucky. Hopefully these don't break. I use them all the time. And then you're gonna need some cotton gloves. You're always gonna need these because you have oil on your fingers. Reduce dust from getting on your negatives while you're scanning. Personally, I don't really care, but I do that because I don't like my finger prints all over my photos or my negatives. And then obviously you're gonna want one of these just to kind of wipe down your scanner before, after, and during your scanning process. And also, it's a good little tip to leave it there. It also helps reduce those Newton rings as well. So just little tips for the course, tips for the trade of the tips. Bunch of tip trading stuff. All right, anyways, let's just get into it. Okay, so first things first, on what you have to do is obviously open up your Epson Scan 2 software. And when you buy Epson Scan, you're gonna go onto Epson's website and you're gonna download, oops, I should probably turn that on, Epson software, which is Epson 2, which is the program that I use that helps you scan your images and then stores them on your computer or your hard drive or whatever. All right, where are you?
Where are you?
All right, there you go. So we're just gonna connect to scanner now. Yep, that means it's working.
One eternity later.
And this is just how I scan, and if you want to scan, you can scan that way as well. Epson Scan pops up with your last recent scans. These are some scans I did for some good friends of mine. So we're just going to get our gloves. We're gonna pop the top. So I'm calling this popping the top, and then we're gonna clean it. We're gonna clean our glass. Make sure our glass, ooh, you're a dirty girl. So when your glass is a real dirty girl, you gotta clean her up. Nice and clean top. Then you wanna put on your nice white gloves that make you feel like you're a rare art auctioneer. Gonna get 500, 520, 20, 25, 40, I would be obviously I'd be an awful, auctioneer. Two things you need to know about your film is you have the emulsion side, which is basically your glossy side. It's where the negative reads left to right. So you can read Kodak Ektar 100, which is the film stock I shot. So this film has a slight curve to it. I like that, and I'll tell you why. I like that because I know I'm not going to get a whole lot of Newton rings when I do that. Sorry, I gotta be so precise here because I don't like using the inserts. So you can't just place this on here. You have a small section here that has to fit in line here. I drew some lines here to kind of help guide me where the negative's supposed to be. And then you just kind of guess it, and it'll probably take a couple tries because it always does. Preview. take some time. Does take some time. You know what? That'll do. That'll do. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to our folder, and I'm just gonna put it in my hard drive here. I'm just gonna new folder it and just put like YouTube scan. Cause whatever. I'm gonna delete this once you're done watching. All right, so YouTube scan, and then we're gonna go up to the top here. Obviously it's an Epson Perfection V600 scan settings. I just use default settings, photo mode. You also want to make sure that you're using document source as transparency unit, document type, color positive film, image qual, image type, 48-bit color is my preference, and then your resolutions, your DPI. I used to do this at the highest setting imaginable, and then I would return negatives that were like a gigabyte in capacity, which is ridiculous. They don't need to be that big. And the difference in quality from 3200 to 1280 is so minimal. Just the 3200 is fine. You could probably go lower than that, but I like it. And then scanning quality, obviously high. And then I don't even touch color management, thumbnail. So you can do thumbnail options. Thumbnail basically will help select your negative that you want to use instead of you selecting it manually. I like to select it manually because everyone likes, oh my God, that is not straight at all. It's just not straight. You know what? Forget it. I've gone this far. All right, so it's just a simple drag and pull, and then once you get the walking ants, there you go. That's one of your images. And then I go over to the edition, click edition, so you get two of them. Drag it down. Make sure that you're getting everything that you want. Just a note: if you try and get too far into this white, come on, do it for me. Do it for me. You'll see how you lose color. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes you got to be careful. If you get too outside of your borders, you will lose quality and or color. Be aware of that. You want this nice glowing orange. It's pretty perfect. All right, so you have your two images. You want to make sure you press 2 or else it's only going to do the one that's there. I keep the same image, TIFF, file name. If you want to change all that, you can. This is the stuff I worry about. Everything else comes pretty stock, so everything's stock. And then you just scan your images. All right, so on a Mac, it's gonna pop up. I can't say anything about a PC. And if you're using PCs, I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna do one. So we're gonna drag it right into Lightroom itself. Because Negative Lab Pro, the plugin, is in Lightroom. The classic version, not the new mobile version, the classic version. So make sure you got that one. If you're using Negative Lab Pro, I don't use the other Silverfast. I don't use Silverfast, so you're not gonna. This is not a Silverfast way. So if that's what you're looking for, wrong channel, bud. It's Negative Lab Pro or die here. Unless there's something better that comes out, which I have not seen. All right. So obviously, if you're familiar with Lightroom, it's gonna pop up. So I'm gonna import that one. Oh, it's crooked, I don't like that. Furthermore, this photo's crooked because I chose to scan it crooked, so please don't judge. I normally try and make it as straight. I would literally sit for hours and make it straight, but for the sake of this video, just cut me some slack, man. Cut me some slack. It's telling me no photo selected. Wrong, it's right here. Ooh, I guess it's not that bad. All right, so why I like the borders is it's easier for me to pull my white balance. So when you're converting a negative, you have to basically manually white balance it by the white balance selector thing. You can just press W or just click over and do it. I always click the borders just like that. So as you can tell, it converts it for the most part for the white balance. So temperature and tint and all that is already thrown in there just by the selector tool. And then I'm going to go over and press Control in, and that is the plugin activator for Negative Lab Pro. So it's source, it's obviously a TIFF scan, color basic, pre-saturation, and border buffer. I don't touch that. I've never touched it. I just keep that how it is. And from what I know, I think that's the best way to do it. And then you just press convert negatives. And then again, you're waiting, analyzing. Yeah, baby. All right. So, and then it's gonna give you this image, which I really like. I don't do a whole lot of editing. I really do not. But if you want to edit, you can. And this is kind of how I edit an image like this. So I'm just gonna click soft highs and soft lows. That's gonna work on your clipping. So it's not so harsh and not so dramatic. Depending on sometimes I'll keep lows unclipped or unchecked for situational basis. But anyways, so you kind of mess around with your brightness tab. You can turn it down or contrast. I'm not too contrasty. I really like the not so contrasty vibes of this photo. This was taken in Ocean Beach, which is really close to me. Lights, you kind of mess with those too. You can also mess with your temperature, your mids, your highs, your shadows. And this is like pre-messing with before you save it. So basically, for this instance, I'm just gonna keep it like this because I don't do a whole lot of editing with my film photos unless it's absolutely necessary. But for the most part, if I like it, I'm just gonna keep it. And then if you want to, like I said, you can mess with your clarity tab. See, I'm new with photography, so just wham! That actually doesn't look that bad. That was dramatic though. I will say though, I do clarify photos just because I know every time I export them, they lose some of their the presence. Add a little spark. And then that's it. So that's how I scan and convert my negatives utilizing my Epson V600 scanner, my Epson V600 Perfection scanner, utilizing Lightroom Classic with the Negative Lab Pro plugin. I feel like there's more stuff I should say, but it's really not that hard. It really is not. And then save and export. Yeah, all right. Well, I hope you guys liked that video. I hope you guys learned something. Again, it's not scary to scan or fuck it, to even develop your own film. It's actually, it's a growing process, but it's a fun process. It's really fun. It's fun to learn. I still am learning like all the little nuances that goes into making a photo. And this is just one of them. Obviously, there's some other things that I would do this image to like fine tune it before I were to share it with anybody, but just kind of want to show you like it's not that hard. It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort, and it's a fun process. And I would invite you to try it yourself. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comments below. Please like this video, and if you're so inclined, please subscribe to my channel. This is crazy. I'm just having a lot of fun doing this, and it's cool to be able to share it because fucking like 3 months ago, I did not know how to do any of this. I just fucking learned. So I would encourage you to try out this program. I would encourage you to shoot more film, shoot every day, develop every day, scan every day. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Well, thank you again, and share this video. Fucking show people it. Talk about me to your mom. Tell your mom about me. Hey Sharon, did they tell you about me? Good, all right. Subscribe to my channel, and yeah, let's go make some magic.